So here it goes, my 5th or 6th attempt to film my intro because I don't know why my iPhone sounds like I'm underwater when I upload the audio to my computer. I don't know what the hell's going on. This next video is with my guest, a beautiful, strong, smart trans woman, Dora. We talk about dating as a trans woman, and as we already know, dating is weird and difficult enough, and maybe it's not, but some muffles out there make it really weird and difficult, and then I find myself just wasting my time, and that's a whole other video. But we talk about that, and you might be wondering, well, why should I watch this video? Well, because it's cool to know about other people and differences and struggles, and not only school, but also if we learn about other people, we sometimes are able to have like empathy and better understanding, and therefore get along and just move forward into a more loving society and world, which is the goal. I'm not gonna make this video any more longer. Let's just get it started. I hope the audio doesn't suck right now when I upload it. Hey you guys, welcome to my Androgynous Life. In today's video, my guest is Dora. Hey everyone, welcome to my Androgynous Life. A person that's part of my Androgynous Life is Dora. I met her a long time ago. Actually, I have this funny story that I want to share with you.
Okay.
We went to an after party and it was our first time meeting. We didn't even actually talk a lot. Just say, hi, my name is Dora, blah, blah, blah. And you made this little joke. It will cost you more to explore.
Yeah, that's my line. Dora like the explorer, but exploring costs extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were hanging out with this other cute, sexy, voluptuous Tina girl from the show. You guys are really close.
Reina. Yeah.
Yeah. And you had this purse, like a clutch that is rings.
Yeah. I still have that.
And you left that on a little bar. And you were mingling and talking, and I was just happened to be chilling there, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, and I'm looking at it, and I'm trying it on, and and I see from the corner of my eye that you went like this, and you right away walked by it and be like, oh, can I have that?
No, I didn't.
No, girl,
really?
girl,
Oh
it's
God.
fine. It's fine because I was like, yeah, and I was like, oh shit, she thinks I'm gonna steal something.
No.
But girl, it made sense. It was fucking 3 a.m. I was a stranger. I probably would have done the same thing.
And I was probably drunk too, so I was just like, I need to be diligent.
Yeah, but that happened.
Well, I'm sorry for
accusing
you with my eyes.
Okay, so what made me have you over in this video is because I bumped into this video on Facebook about trans women and the issues that they deal with when it comes to dating. And I don't consider myself a trans woman, but I relate to a lot. And of course I want to start by asking, are you in the market?
Oh, I'm very available. And moderately priced.
Everyone watching this video, I'm gonna put her link to all her social media so you guys get in her DMs.
Please slide into my DMs respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. When it comes to dating, cisgender people, normally they just don't even think about it. They just go to a bar,
yeah,
or they just go to a club. As a trans woman, do you resort to different things for dating?
That is such a good question because I'm on apps and online. I do feel a lot safer and a lot more comfortable in an online sort of app-based approach, because as a trans woman, I face not only ignorance and the uncomfortable situations that come with that about people who don't know about trans people and who say things that are embarrassing or offensive or things, not even on purpose, but just things that are, make me uncomfortable. But there's also the fear of violence, if I'm in a club and I'm presenting feminine and I meet someone, I don't know if I'm going to be safe telling them about my gender identity. I don't know if I try to tell them the truth, if they're going to be angry or violent towards me.
So for you feel safer with an app?
Yeah, because I can talk to them with the safety of being in my own home and just being are you aware that I'm trans? And I'm very open about my gender identity right out the get-go. On all of my profiles, it's the first thing is transgender woman, because for me it's a safety measure. It's I need you to know right away that this is who I am, because I don't know if, have you ever heard of the term trans panic?
No. Sounds like it's like transphobia.
It's similar, but it's worse, because trans panic refers to
Sorry, I apologize. You just close the heater because this shit is hot as fuck. Well, it's already fucking close. Let me take off my jacket.
Trans panic is technically used as a legal defense. It's a defense used when trans women are murdered by
So it's
people.
an existing term, like a valid term.
It's a term that is used to describe someone. It's like an insanity plea. It's like, well, I didn't know she was trans, and when I found out, I couldn't control my actions and I killed her.
I had a trans panic.
Exactly. And it's used, I believe there are still states in the United States that use trans panic as a valid defense.
I didn't know about such thing.
So like, not only are trans women being murdered by people that they are trying to be intimate with, the murderers are getting reduced sentences because their victim was trans, and it is seen as acceptable for them to be
because
killed.
They had a trans panic.
Exactly.
That's so wild.
But that's one of the reasons why I'm like,
if you're gonna have your trans panic, have it alone.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
away from me.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say, like, I want to be open about the fact trans women of color face disproportionate amount of violence as compared to white trans women. So I would like to be open about the fact that I would never equate my experience with that of a trans woman of color. I have a very positive experience. I have a lot of support from like my friends, and my biological family is very supportive. I'm very lucky. However, that fear of violence, that fear of persecution is still there, and I have in the past received some pretty scary messages from people who are like, you're sick, I wish all people like you would just die.
And you know what's funny? It's not funny, but I got a message actually from a guy that we matched on Tinder. Like, you swipe right, you saw me as attractive. I messaged him, hey, my name is Al, how's it going? And he replied, I think you're sick or you have a mental disorder, but that's just my opinion. And you're not, and he said, and you're not a woman. I don't know why he got the point where the idea where I was like trying to like be a woman also.
Well, that's the thing. I wish I had the unflappable confidence of a mediocre white cisgender man. Because like, they just think the entire world revolves around them.
Yeah.
It's like you're pretending to get guys.
How about when you go to a restaurant or a bar and a guy approaches you and he's like, hey, you're a really pretty girl, like what's your name, blah blah blah, and you guys start talking. At what point do you tell him?
Me personally, as soon as I receive a signal that he wants to continue talking, even beyond like, hi, I just want to say you're pretty, have a good day, I say it right away.
What do you mean? Like, if a guy comes and he's like, hey, you're really pretty, like you right away say, I'm trans?
I've had people like approach me like at like a bar, if I'm like, especially like if I'm doing karaoke. What I'll do is I'll sort of lean in and I'll be like, just so you know, and I'm not saying this to deter you or anything, I just want to let you know that I'm a transgender woman, and me personally, I'm very open about my transition and my identity, so I'm very open to questions if you have them, but I want to let you know right away.
Okay, I love the way you put that together, because you didn't make it about like you being self-conscious about it. You made it about like, I'm happy with it, this is who I am, and if you are curious, let me know.
Yeah, well, because I am. Transitioning for me meant choosing my self-love over the comfort of strangers. And
that's what I always preach. Why I always used to tell it to one of my exes. Why do you give a fuck about all these people? They don't care about your life. They're out like fucking a bunch of girls, living their own life. Fuck whoever you want to fuck. Fuck me all the time that you want.
Exactly.
Like, enjoy your life.
It's a fool's errand to try and live your life based on the approval of others.
And you know what? It is easier to say because a lot of times then family comes in to play.
Yes.
Even if your mom, I think your mom already got married and is living her life, you should live your own life.
Like I said, I speak with a certain level of privilege in that area because both of my parents are super supportive of me. And like, there would be times where like my mom would accidentally misgender me or accidentally call me by my dead name. And even though it like sucks when that happens,
Sorry, you just said your what? Your dead?
My dead name.
Dead name?
Dead name, as in the name that I was given before I transitioned.
Oh,
Do you know the one that I was born with?
I just never heard that term before.
Yeah, dead name is the name that a trans person is born with or given at birth.
Dead like, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I'm getting it. Like dead like dying?
Dead like.
Okay.
It's not a name that I go by anymore.
I didn't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She always like immediately apologizes and corrects herself, and it's never about her like, because there's a lot of times where allies will sort of center themselves in your boundaries.
Give me an example.
Like, someone dead names you and they go, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but like, don't get mad, I'm still working on it.
Oh.
Or like, they misgender you, like, oh my god, I'm the worst person in the world, you must totally fucking hate me. And they make it all about themselves getting,
like they're the victim.
Exactly. Like, they're like, I messed up and that makes me uncomfortable, so I need you to appease me, or I need you to make sure that I'm not uncomfortable anymore, even though it was them who technically did the ignorant thing.
I think that goes back to them thinking that you are kind of something not, like, kind of maybe wrong with you.
Yeah.
That you are the problem.
That's it. Or it's this really complex idea that trans people transition because they're selfish.
Oh my god. That sounds horrible.
I know. That's a narrative in society where people are like, trans people just want attention. They don't care about anybody but themselves, because what they're doing is they're centering their own discomfort in having to adapt, rather than having the critical thinking of being like, transitioning isn't selfish, it's survival.
Yeah.
Transitioning means that like, I could no longer go on being someone that I am not, and so I am now the person that I actually am.
It's already hard to know yourself, even as a cisgender person. It's a journey to get to know who you are.
Exactly.
Imagine how more difficult it is when you are, not matching what you see in the mirror with how you feel.
Yeah.
We're totally dissecting. We're getting into people's heads.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
We're really breaking it. We're really breaking it down.
Yeah.
Back to these guys. What are the reactions?
It varies, guys. I think when they're in public, a lot of men, they don't immediately want to react negative. They're like, I don't want to get like in trouble or things like that, which is like, honestly, like whatever keeps you from being a dick to me in public. Most of it has been positive, thankfully.
Like what kind of things they say?
Like I've been rejected before, but it's never like, ew, or you know what I mean? It's never like that blatant. It's more like,
do you recall a story, a time?
Well there was,
No, you have to say it.
So this actually happened recently. So I was doing karaoke and there was this guy there that was also doing karaoke. He was really cute. He was kind of like average Joe kind of guy, which is the kind
Girl,
of guy
me too, mine too. I like a guy that's so effortless.
Well, and I like a good blue collar guy.
Okay, yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Like a hardworking guy.
Yeah. I like a thick, beardy, like
yeah,
hunting and fishing kind of guy. So I met this guy and we got to talking. He liked the songs that I was singing. He liked my voice. I told him that I was trans and he was like, oh, I have no problem with that. In fact, I think that's really hot.
That was gonna take me to another question. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
And that's a whole other thing because that immediately like trips a switch in my brain.
A negative one?
It's a multi-layered one.
Ooh,
it's one where it's like, okay, so this is technically a positive response, but is this a positive response as in, I watch a lot of trans porn and I've always wanted to try
it's a fetish.
Exactly, which is a whole other chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But we were in public and he was sweet and I was just like, he's cute, and like I met him at a bar, so like
if something happens,
if we go home and fool around, like at least he was cute. We got to talking and we were both drinking and he was like, yeah, I'd love to like come by your place, and I was like, cool. And so I call a Lyft and we're like waiting outside and he was like, I just live across the street. Can I just like run home and grab something real quick? And he literally, I'm not even kidding, runs across the street and like runs up to his apartment. And I just knew, standing there waiting for that Lyft, I was like, he's not coming back.
Really?
And he didn't. He went home and just like stayed there, and I texted, and it was cold outside and I was just like, so is this happening or what's going on? He's like, I'm sorry, I got home and I'm like really tired. And I was like, I hate
especially men that don't have the balls to just be honest.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was gonna go get the condoms, he was gonna come back.
I wish that was the case. And honestly, I deal with that so much, even not in person. Because when I say transphobia, that sometimes that means like they're literally scared of sleeping with trans women.
But they are attracted to you without even knowing.
But they're so scared of what society will think of them.
And again, it's about society.
Exactly.
And actually, I was gonna ask you too, do you ever use the whole fetish thing to your benefit where sometimes you take advantage of it? Like, for example, myself, like again, I can relate because I'm not trans, but the whole fact that I'm a boy and I'm feminine,
Well,
I get like told all the time, hon, I used to think being told that I was exotic as a compliment until I realized I wasn't getting any farther than just being exotic.
That's the thing, is like exotic is just like diet racism. Exotic is like, you don't look like a white girl, and this is interesting to me.
You're an item, like it's something that I'm curious about. Let me try it, and that's
exactly.
And that's when I started getting like super annoying, and I'm like, I'm more than that. But I have to say that I have my moments where it's late at night, and it's like I'm exotic, you know, like
you're like shit. Well, and for me, it really depends on where I'm at like an emotional, psychological way. Like, it depends on where I'm at in that area. Like, if a dude is like, I've always wanted to try a trans woman, can I take you out? Then I'm gonna be like, if it means that I, can do a thing, like go to dinner, do a thing. But if he's just like
Netflix and chill,
not even that. It's just like butt stuff? ?
Oh my god!
You should see. Like, literally check out my Instagram. I have like several screenshots of some of these opening lines that I've gotten. These men are very confident in their mediocre communication skills. The boundary you must always have is,
if I get something from him,
you gotta get off. Or you gotta get what you want out of it. Because there was a time when I was just expected to service men.
I've been in that situation too.
Like you are feminine, that means you are in service to men. I expect you to get me off, and they get really defensive if you ask if they're open to getting you off. Like, oh, I don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean you don't do that? Like,
yeah,
so
like
you
it's a one-way thing.
Like, you just expect femme people to like.
Yeah, hon. I had this relationship with a guy. It was like a friends with benefits relationship. It was just like funsies, and he worked perfectly. He was respectful. He will hit me up in advance. I would go to his place, but it was very like that. Like, he said, I don't do these things, and I was like, okay, I can work with the other two things that you can do. I can definitely, those make me very happy actually.
Sure.
But a lot of times, again, I would want to reach my peak point, I wanted to like get mine.
Yeah.
And he would just care about getting his, and I'll be like, keep going. And he was like, well, it takes two people. I have to want to too. And I was like,
that's so
hon. And I was, you know what? I was trying to be so open-minded, and I was like, well, touche. Two people have to want it. But I was like, you know what? But I don't come here for this. It doesn't feel right. And I remember saying that out loud.
But that's the thing, is like, men expect femme people to get them off and then like get themselves off.
Yeah,
like,
and I was like, it doesn't
like,
feel right. And he's like, and that's okay. And I was like, what do you mean it's okay? He's like, I know you're complaining, and if you don't like it, that's okay.
Oh my!
I know.
I hate this man. I hate this man.
I said, you know what? I guess it is what it is. Like, it is okay, but doesn't mean I have to be here anymore. And,
yes.
And I got up and I left. I got a long apology where he said he wanted to make it up to me, and actually he very well did make it up to me.
Good.
Yeah, but after,
take note.
But yeah, that happened, and so I can relate to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's expected for them to be the priority.
Yeah, honestly, that's for every femme person. Cis women, trans women. Femme is associated with servitude in a lot of ways.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's
even the jobs, like back in the day, all the jobs that women could do is serve.
Yeah.
Man.
A PSA to any man who is watching this: if you hit up a trans woman online and you expect her to get you off without putting forth any effort to get her off too, do me a favor. Kill yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
No. don't talk to that person. She has to deal with so many more things than this momentary interaction. Do the right thing.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're gonna have a sex with another person, like have that decent respect. It's a person.
Yeah,
it's another human being.
Sex is a two-way street. Like,
yeah.
Like if you want to get yourself off, hopefully you have two functional hands to do that. Or a toy or something.
Some device.
Do not use a person to get you
That
off.
sounds so sick. Like literally just like, I don't like, it's almost like a blow-up doll. Like, I'm not gonna take care of you.
That's the thing. Like when I say that like women and femme people are objectified, they are literally seen as objects to be consumed or objects to be used.
Yeah.
And not in so strict or so obvious a term where they're like, you are not a real person.
Yeah.
There's all these little
subtle ways
social cues that make that acceptable.